Now in this video we will move on, and the whole idea is that applying AI to the enterprise applications, and ultimately for us enterprise application is JIRA. But before that we reach to that stage, let's create the JIRA task programmatically via JIRA API. So that's what we will do in this video. In the last video we just created a single task via JIRA API. Now we will do this for a bulk task. So let's do that. So, I mean, if you want to check out like earlier videos where I'm showing the signing up the Jira portal and getting the API tokens, you can just check out. There is a link in this video description so that you can follow sequence wise. If you want to really do along with me and then really create like a proper, I think the Jira bot summarizing via LLM, right? By using LLM. So you can just follow that. For now, let's switch. So I just got a list of tasks in array variable, I mean list variable. So these are all the tasks, right? You can see that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to simply loop through all the tasks and call this function which I used in the earlier video, this function. I mean, this is not a function. I'll just wrap this in function. What it does is it simply it simply calls the Jira create issue API with the post request method. It's over here and it's going to create the task. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to loop through all the tasks and call this function for every task. So let's wrap this code which creates the task. I'll put it like task, and I'll call this function for every element of the task, right? So this is what I just did it now. And yeah, payload I need to modify. But let's see. So what I'm going to do is that these are all my Jira tasks. So I don't need this cell. So this is my Jira task. Now what I'm going to do is let me just run this cell. So just a second. I just clean this up. Okay. And now I'll run it one by one. So this is the bare minimum imports you need to get it. This is what we are just importing Jira API token and constructing the Jira domain, email, and authentication part, which you will need it. This is something for future. And this is a single Jira task. I don't need it now. So I just load the Jira API token on my environment variable. This is the function. And now what I'm going to do, these are all the Jira tasks, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to loop through for every task, and for task in Jira task, okay? And let's call this function. Which function I'm going to call? I'm going to call this guy create task and create task and task. I think it will not work, right? Because I'm just passing the task as an object, right? I'm just passing like this guy, then this guy, but it will not work on it. You know why? Because, yeah, because here I need to construct the payload dynamically, right? So what I'm doing is that, so first I will just do print task, right? And I need to modify this one. So before that, let me just try to understand how this task looks like. Before I call the function, I will just see how the task looks like. Just a second. Okay, for task in Jira task is not defined. Okay, Jira task is this line. Okay. Okay, this is like half, I think half line. I just copied from ChatGPT by the way. So you can just, you can just get the list of tasks from ChatGPT as well. It works. Okay, so print task. And what I need to do is that for task of 0, right? I'm just trying to understand this data structure, right? That's what I'm just doing. I'm not doing anything magical. So this list of task is it's 0. So I was expecting, okay. So this is my first task. From the first task, I need to get the fields. Yeah. So, okay. So for the first task, I'm getting the fields for task in Jira task. So ideally, this should be first one. It's giving me fields, project summary, and then I'm going to put it like fields of summary, for example. So now it will give me summary for all the projects what we have. Okay, now I got it. This is how I need to structure my code. Hope you're able to follow, right? I was trying to understand the structure of this payload, and now I just need to modify over here. So like project is nothing but project key. So now I'm constructing for every task, for every basically I'm looping for every member. Why I'm saying for every, but I'm just trying to loop for every member of this Jira task variable and calling this function. So for the first time we will get this part, then second time we will get this part, right? So we need to construct the payload accordingly. So what I'm doing is that payloads project key. So project key is always constant for us, right? So I don't need to pass project key. So project key I'm already giving like the project key what we have. You know what is project key? So project key is over here, my dear friends, over here, right? So this is the project key under which we would be creating a list of tasks. So it's static, right? So why I do not need to pass it over here. I think it says given by chat GPT, but I'm not going to use it. So project I'm going to keep it like constant. It's like same one. Summary, I'll just put it like variable thing. So now how I analyze, yeah. So this is how I need to put it to get the summary. So I copy this guy, and this is, sorry, not in here, but over here, right? So this is my summary, and I'll just put it comma. Now, how is the description we need to put it? So description is, this is what the dynamic part is one, right? So I'm going to change this to the what we should be having as a description, right? So what is the description field? It is this guy, right? This one description, right? So what I'm doing is that, hope you're able to follow me, right? I'm simply changing fields description. Summary is there. Now let's put issue. Issue type is again constant, right? So where is the issue type? Issue type is task. So yeah, I think what we are just passing the project key, we are just passing summary, and we are just map it to the dynamic description, right? I mean the description what we get it. I think this should be good enough. I'll just check it if there is any error or no. I think we are good. So we are calling this create task function for each member of this list variable. So for this, we pass this whole guy, right? We pass this member and call this function. Then we pass this member, second member, and the call function. This is what we are doing over here, right? And then now I will call the function. What I'm going to do is, what is the function name? I think create task, right? So far we have not called. Now I am going to call the create task. I mean, it is not like a classical with error handling foolproof code. No, that's not the purpose. Purpose is to quick move things to do the POC. Okay, task created successfully. So it's printing task created successfully. I think why? Okay, yeah, because we have handled this part over here itself, right? It gives the key as well. So yeah, it just create 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tasks, right? And as you can see here, this must be six. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 tasks created. Let's check on the Jira Scrum board. I had already created this 3 tasks, and then yeah, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Blah. So then now we have the task Jira board is created. Now what I'm going to do is that this is not something I want to capture in a part of video, but what I'm going to do is that I'm going to simply move all these tasks to over here. I'll just show you some sample part for you, right? I'm going to move this from here to here. Sorry, where it moved, sorry. I'm going to move from backlog to the current sprint which is running. So this is how the typical scrum master or typical sprint starts, right? So whenever the sprint starts, based on the team's input, we will move the task whatever we are going to do in this sprint, right? So this is what I would be doing. I just want to cover as a off from the video, but this is what we would be doing, so that you know now. And then I'm going to click on start sprint, right? So if I just keep on adding some of the task, right? Maybe let me just do it, finish it up right away. So these are some of the tasks. Implement user authentication API. Just a second, yeah. So I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think around I can see just 7 tasks are there. What I'm going to do is that I'll just click on start sprint button. But before I do that, right, that is, I do not see any estimations. So you just click over here, you go over here, give some estimations. I don't know, based on the team's input, right? Maybe designing user schema, maybe I'll put it like 3 points. And then design UI task creation. So develop UI for task creation. So it's React based UI which we need to create. So I'll just put some story points like 5 points. So this is what I want you to do that, and then just click on start sprint button, right? And then we are starting a sprint. And then this is what it says is the sprint is for 2 weeks. If there is any sprint goal, you might want to add that this is what we want to add the sprint goal. Just click on start and then your sprint has started. And then I'll see you in the next video where all my issues, whatever issues I have added, right? I would be adding some comments as well. So now I want you to mimic like this is your team board, right? So assign this task. So pick this task, just play a role of Scrum Master or play a role of team as well. Assign this individual task to some of your team members which you onboarded to this project. Assign them, add some comments, which try to match with this use case. I'm going to do this, so that before the next video I would be ready with this task with the comments as well. And then we will fed this to LLM, and we are going to get the insights from the Jira Scrum board. That's all for now. So I think stay tuned. And if you want me to cover any specific use cases, like if you want me to cover like any specific on Jira or any new platform where you think how AI can help, shoot me a comment. I'll be very happy to share the video on how AI can help on this one. So that's all for now. Thank you.